And then little chart here, how likely home flippers say they're to conduct a fix and flips in the next 12 months. And overwhelmingly very likely, which makes sense because you're interviewing home flippers. It's going to be actually higher, but
what else are they going to do?
Yeah. I don't know. Some questions.
Question there.
Yeah. All right. So how home flippers describe the current state of their primary fix and flip market. Again, it's going to depend on where you're at. You got one in about 10% here, very weak, and 1 in 3 about somewhat weak, and then somewhat strong and very strong. So
very market dependent.
Exactly. So this is demand over the next 12 months. And it looks like the blues are going down, the reds are going up. So people are feeling less confident on demand. Basically, that is what the point of this chart here.
Yeah.
And then how many projects home flippers say they plan to convert into rentals. They mentioned this in the words up there. It was about 60 some percent, 56 plus 6%, I think, gets us to that. And then home flippers see the fix and flip market evolving over the next 12 months. And this is actually a good question, finally. In the Northeast.
Love it.
Yeah.
This is great data here.
Being the same. This Southwest, Southeast are liking or staying the same. So does that mean it bottomed from their perspective? It only get better is what I'm thinking. People are translating. People actually think the West is going to get worse. Look at that, just sticking out there. And this is, I'm assuming, just an aggregate of the above on the U.S. Overall, I would say good or the same is basically the moral of the story on this chart.
When you look at this chart here, the Southwest and the Southeast, they really stick out. So you got Arizona, which had heavy inventory, especially in Phoenix for a while there, and they seem to have really reduced their inventory. And the Southeast again, Florida had heavy inventory. We're actually way down from where we were here in Naples and in different parts of Florida. The inventory is down compared to where it was 6 months ago by quite a bit. So that's where I think you're seeing that strengthening right there, but still really good pricing. Like the pricing has not increased, even though there's less inventory. So I think people are feeling a little bit more confident. All right, I can still get a really good deal because things aren't going flaming high. And if there's something that needs some work, I can bring it up and then still be able to sell it.
Yeah, good points. And then how home flippers describe demand for fix and flip properties in their market over the next 12 months. And
that's pretty consistent.
Questions. So this is home flippers see the fix evolving and describe demand for the next 12 months. Okay. So Midwest, Northeast, basically mirror images of themselves. Same thing for Southwest and Southeast. And then the West is, again, leading towards the worst here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. The Northeast still has the people, there's just no inventory in the Northeast and the Midwest. So people have a strong appetite to get deals. They still want these deals. And the markets are good. And that you get something at a good number, you put it on the market, you're going to do well with it.
Yeah.
That makes sense, that data.
Average budget for home flippers for renovation projects.
It's heavy in the Southwest, huh?
Yeah. No, it's actually, this is less than 50K.
Oh, less than 50. Okay.
Yeah, and red is the highest, 200K plus. Wow.
Okay.
California homes, Seattle homes, makes sense why it's so expensive, right? It's out of you. And then the Northeast, again, you got the values there and the age, right?
The age. Yep. And the Southwest, you go to Arizona, they're newer homes. It's not that old of an area. When you think about Phoenix, you think about Tucson, these markets. So the houses shouldn't need as much renovation as you're going to need, say, in an old place in Florida here in the Southeast or an old place in Georgia. Yeah, so that does make a lot of sense.
Yep. And then you got typical profit margins from home flippers on the fix and flip projects. So less than 10% is at blue. And then obviously red here is a good thing because it's a higher profit margin. But the bulk of it, as the article mentioned earlier, is this kind
20 to 29,
whatever color that is, 20 to 29%.
Yeah, look at the Northeast. There's just no inventory, though. I guess that's why that is the way it is, right?
Yeah, whatever property you get, you're willing to take lower margins.
At 10 to 19%.
Yeah, because the competition might be so high, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. You're paying your leads your cost per lead probably costs double, triple what it costs anywhere else.
And then those are larger rehabs too, probably.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, double whammy.
Yeah. Type of renovation home flippers say provides the best ROI. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, higher home prices too.
Higher home prices
Yeah.
too. Yep.
Yeah. So this is kitchen upgrades, bathroom models, makes sense. Flooring and painting, my favorite.
Yeah.
Structural updates,
We don't
exterior
like them.
cosmetics. Yeah.
We like the cosmetics and the flooring and painting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's our bread and butter. In and out. Although that guy in Tuscaloosa is doing a really nice job with his bathrooms, I got to say.
Yeah, it's way
look
better than I
great.
thought it was going to look.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. They look really good. If we
They
get
really
in
do.
that market again, we're using this guy again. He's good.
Yeah, I like them.
Biggest challenges flippers face with their fix and flip projects,
Painting
financing, working with
contractors, number one.
Yeah.
That's everywhere.
Financing, number two, which is,
It's interesting.
yeah, I guess it's a challenge for most, but I'm surprised it's so high, especially if you're a recurring flipper, right? You have access probably to private lenders. You've probably been using asset-based lenders. Surprised that one's so high.
I wonder if some of this is, I wonder what percentage is private lending and being at the stock markets at all-time highs and people are seeing alternatives that they can put their money into as compared to housing, which if you go on YouTube, you hear that market's crashing, all this kind of crap, these things like the fear porn put in there. I wonder what percentage of this is private lending compared to a Kiavi or Lending One or one of these.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would like that data.
The individual people that do lending are going to continue to pump money into the real estate market, ride that high current market versus the clickbait they're hearing online.
I wonder if the lenders or asset-based lenders are pulling back at all. I'd be curious of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That'd be good. Like, here's the pie chart, but here's some of the themes that we've heard on financing or contractors. Go down a level with the responses.
Yeah. Timelines were the other big factor.
Timelines, we're talking about most are in that 4 to 6 month range. That's that light blue, which makes sense.
That's your cosmetic rehab. Yep.
Yeah. And it's very vague on what the typical timeline, but I'm assuming, cosmetic rehab, you're updating most of the stuff and kitchens. Yeah. And then home flippers describe the current state of their primary fix and flip market. I feel like we covered this one already, but maybe.
Yeah. Kind of some like
redundant questions are like repetitive.
Redundant.
Yeah, redundant. Yeah. And then the biggest challenges home flippers face in the current market, it's interest rates, competition for properties is a big one too. And then you had inventory, which makes sense, labor and materials, we talked about that, and other, which is still a big chunk. It's that in the teens, almost 20% in some markets.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And that's a survey. Figured, again, this is a survey that asked flippers what they're experiencing, and we just wanted to share this article with you.